Well, Magic the Gathering's version of Brooktober, poor November. I don't know. My pun skills aren't on point today. Continues, and this week we had both. We had two products come out from the Vault: Transform, which I've looked at, as well as Explorers of Ixalan, a self-contained Magic the Gathering board game. Now, this is a second swipe at the board game. I actually have the other version off camera there. That version I thought was, it was just basically the Magic license attached to what Heroescapes it was, I think. Is that what that game was called? Now, and it really wasn't Magic the Gathering. Now, Explorers of Ixalan, which has a price tag of $64.99, which I purchased from my local game store, TK Games in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, is definitely uniquely Magic the Gathering. So it has 4 60 card. Actually, let's switch to the overhead so you can see what I'm seeing. It has 4 60 card decks, 50 map tiles, 20 double-sided tokens, 36 1/1 counters, 4 scout markers, 4 deck boxes, and a rule insert. Curiously, no 20-sided die. That's definitely interesting. Now, I don't know if I want to take all the time to explain how to play. Basically, it's like a poor man's version of, or maybe not even like Archenemy. A Plane Chase. And you have 4 decks inside here. You basically have your vampires, your pirates, your merfolk, and your dinosaur riders. And each person gets a deck, and it's a melee combat type board game. Now, I think Tolarian Community College did a good overview on how to play this game, so I'm not going to do much tutorial. I just want to show you what's inside so you can make an informed decision. Now, I agree with Brian that overall, this is clearly a product for people that already know how to play Magic. There's not even a how to play guide in here. It's just offering Magic players an alternate way to play a game that we already like. They say 2 to 4 players, and each game takes about 30 minutes. The one gripe I have with this is the price tag. I don't think you're giving local game stores a fair shake at selling this for $64.99. I already see it selling with free shipping on online outlets in the 40s. So hopefully, you guys rethink that. I think the MSRP is just, it's not conducive. It's not giftable at that price. It would have been giftable at the $40 price tag. We have our decks in here, so you get your 4 decks. Let's open this. And I want to say, so by the time you see my movie, because I don't get product early like some people, you'll see that he in fact rated this product at a D-, essentially a fail. I don't know why he didn't go all the way to a fail, and I agree with his take. But I have, if I were to grade it, I would give it a C, not a D. I think Brian does skew a little too heavily towards the financial aspect and not heavy enough on the, there's a lot of Magic players that have extra expendable income and aren't as worried about the price. I know a lot of you that watch my videos are worried about that price. And I think for the value, not there. At $39.99, this would have been a great product. $64.99. You've got to value time over money. I am in that position. I work essentially 3 jobs now, and so I value time over money. And when I have free time, I like to just grab it and go. That's why I have a big collection of board games. And so for me, I didn't care that much about the price tag. I didn't care that much that there wasn't expensive reprints. While there are a good set of $5 cards in here, I didn't care that much about, getting reprint value, because I'm going to be able to open these, sleeve them. These deck boxes will fit the cards sleeved, put them in this box, and like I did with Sargon at MythCon Milwaukee, just grab it and play some casual kitchen table Magic. And I think that's who this product is truly for. Now, while the first Magic the Gathering board game was an attempt to just slap the Magic the Gathering license on an existing board game, this is definitely Magic. I mean, you play Magic to win this game. You have modifiers to the game in the form of these tiles, but you have these tiles displayed across the board. 6 casting cost, 3, and then you have a bunch of ones that go around the outside. Here you have a bunch of counters, and you have your characters, and you have your decks. And in this game, if you're playing with 4 players, you can attack multiple players at a single time, and you can do a lot of different things. Now, the instruction manual is very small. I mean, you have deck lists, which are available online. And like I said, I actually have to give Wizards of the Coast some credit for not just reprinting a bunch of cards and trying to just make, like, let's say, cram $100 in value in cards, and then everybody just goes out and buys the decks for the value and breaks them apart and sells singles. But I think they probably went a little too far the other direction by making these the equivalent of basically a Planeswalker decks. Worse than a Planeswalker deck because you don't even have Planeswalkers. So here's the deck unsleeved. You can see, he said it! Unsleeved media. So there's plenty of room to be sleeved, which I will do. I'm just kind of trying to show you the decks. But I think this is something that often goes underrepresented, is casual players who aren't as worried about price. Now, they could have made these decks better. I'd like to see that Time Warp. They could have. They could have put a fetch land in every deck. What they should have did is put like 2 fetch lands in every deck to keep driving down the price of fetch lands. 2 fetch lands, 2 shock lands, and these things would have flown off the shelves. And I don't think Wizards would have cared necessarily that a good portion of people are just buying it to strip out that, because some of those people would have actually played the game too. I mean, you can also power up these decks if you wanted to. Where's our Conquistadors? You know, you could power these up. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. Necropolis Regent. Day of Judgment. But again, a lot of just jank, nickel cards. So it's hard as a Magic player when this is targeted towards us. Like, this is like legitimately a product to sell existing Magic players. It's hard for us, I think, some of us, to view it outside of the lens of, well, you want $64, am I going to get, you know, $85 in cards? Because that's how we've been programmed by Wizards of the Coast. Here we have the Legion. Adaptive Automation, that's a nice one. There's some $4 or $5 cards in here. But, you know, without the added value of, for example, Magic cards, if this were to be a standalone board game, and these had no secondary market value, the price of this game should probably have been $20. I mean, I don't know, $30 tops. I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't see the $64.99. But again, that is when you're just staring at the value. Now you look at the cards that change things. Melee at the gates. Keep until your next turn. Let's say you flip it over. Creatures your opponent control attack each turn if able. These are like instants that are on the table. And when you flip them over, they change the game state. So the more powerful ones are more powerful, right? The mediocre ones are more mediocre. The next time you attack with exactly 2 creatures, untap them and get 2. They each get +2/+2 this turn. So it's a fun little thing to do over Christmas, I think, over Thanksgiving, which is, you know, clearly what they were targeting for this. And I'm on the fence with this. You know, I think, again, if this is something that you're not too worried about getting your value out of and you just like a different way to play Magic the Gathering, then this is going to be great for you. If you want your value and you're a singles buyer and you're a competitive grinder, then maybe this isn't for you. But if I had to grade it, it would probably be more of a C, because I grade on a curve where I don't necessarily overvalue the price I'm paying for the cards and the cards I'm getting necessarily in a product like this. Sometimes just having something to grab out of your closet and play has its own intrinsic value. So I'm looking forward to see in the comment section down below how many of you plan on picking up Explorers of Ixalan, what you think about it, and would you like to see Wizards of the Coast continue to go in this direction? I think their first 2 attempts were pretty poor, but that doesn't mean that can't improve over time. Or would you rather see them just like get out of this altogether and continue to just give us that damn cardboard crack we all love? I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.